In this PowerPoint, we'll be talking about improvisation. What is improvisation? It's to make something up or invent it as one goes on, to proceed by guess rather than by a careful plan, to invent or create something quickly or without a plan, or to wing it. You can improvise music, as well as food and theater. Improvised theater, also known as improv, is when a group of performers create original scenes and characters on the spot. The actors use new information or suggestions as the basis of their sketches, which is provided by the audience or another member of the group. There are two main types of improv, short form or long form. Short form improv is made of short scenes around a predetermined structure or game that are driven by audience involvement. Long-form improv is a whole show of short scenes with related characters, stories, or themes. A good example of improv is Whose Line Is It Anyway? And some of their best-known skits are Scenes from a Hat, Irish Drinking Song, Party Quirks, and Props. Improv draws from the theatrical traditions of commedia dell'arte and clowning, and the ideal of living in the moment was a large part of Stanislavski's system of acting. However, improv as we know it today mainly comes from teachers Viola Spolin and Keith Johnstone, who transferred their theater games from the classroom to the public stage. There are no formal rules to improv, but here are some good tips to make sure that your sketch will be great. Never say no. When you say no, you shut down the whole scene by denying the world you're trying to create. If your partner says, "It certainly is a nice day to build a sandcastle on the beach," and you follow with, "No, we certainly picked the wrong day to fight aliens in space," the scene has nowhere to go. Instead, you should say, "Yes, and," to continue the scene and add more details. Don't try to be funny. If you try to play funny to the audience, they will know that you're only looking for laughs and are not invested in your scene. If you concentrate on your scene, trust your instincts, and listen to your partners, the funny will come. Always establish a location and include lots of specific details. By adding lots of concrete details to your scene, you become invested in the scenarios and create interesting characters and situations. If you're walking an out-of-control dog in the city park, the situation would be a lot different if you were in charge of a hot pink Chihuahua versus a lime green Great Dane. Improv can be done anywhere if there is an open space and willing people, but there are also numerous theaters which specialize in improv throughout the nation. The Second City is an improv theater located in Chicago, Illinois. The theater was founded in December of 1959 by a group of actors. The Second City Training Center began in the 1980s as the demand for classes in all forms of comedy increased. Besides the Chicago location, the Second City has outposts in Hollywood and Toronto, as well as a touring group. Here are some great examples of Second City sketches. Comedy Sports, CSZ, is an organized network of improv theaters throughout the nation. In 1984, CSZ was founded by a group of comedians in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Instead of presenting skits and sketches, CSZ's shows are created by two teams of athletes who compete in games and scenes for audience approval. Just like real sports, there are points and fouls awarded by the referee who runs the game. Fouls include the brown bag. If an athlete uses foul language or crude references, they must wear a brown bag over their head for the remainder of the scene. The groaner. If an athlete uses a joke bad enough to make the audience groan, they lose 1 point unless they can make a heartfelt apology to the audience. Delay of game. If the scene becomes uninteresting, a delay of game foul is called. The athletes are then given 15 seconds to make the scene interesting again, or face ejection and point deduction. Comedy Sports has groups in New York, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Texas, Los Angeles, and even in Manchester, UK, and Berlin, Germany. The Groundlings. The Groundlings are an improv troupe based out of Los Angeles, California. The group has been active since it was founded in 1974. The Groundlings School of Improvisation was founded in 1979, teaching improv, sketch comedy, and comedy writing. Now that you have the tools, go out and do some improvisation.